I'm a yeah. I'm a black guy, and I'm just a normal guy, and I have a friends and some family.
You can rely on me. I'm a good guy.
Nothing about me is anything bad. I'm a black guy.
And black guys are awesome, and we love them all just the same as everybody.
Same as everybody is us because we're equal. They have jobs and they work at places. They pay.
And that doesn't define somebody if you're homeless or you got something going on. It's okay. Whatever. Thank you guys for joining in.
Thanks for listening.
I forgot we kind of had started this whole shebang off. Jake just brewed me some delicious instant coffee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Batch is a little sweeter than I typically make it, but it's pretty good.
It's good.
I'm trying to do a bad upset stomach speed run. I've got non-alcoholic michelada. I've got instant coffee, and then I've got the rest of my Cerveza Athletica. They're not a sponsor, but if you're trying to stay off the juice, Athletic Brewing Company is delicious.
And I've got one of the big, tall Arizona sweet teas, a Calypso peach lemonade, about to be 2 beers, and
my little bonehead.
Yeah, and the coffee.
Yeah, this is let's just say March 9th. Beautiful day in the neighborhood.
In sunny Los Angeles, California.
We all moved to L.A. to be.
We are influencers now.
Do you remember, like, during the pandemic when they were all buying houses and, like, living together and, like...
Yeah. It was like a mini 2008 simulator.
Mm-hmm, yeah. And there was the hype house and, like, all this stuff. And I remember thinking it would be funny to, like, do one called the Halfway House. And then, like, 2 months later, someone made that, and it was, like, for, like, the wacky content guy. You know what I mean? Like, we're not like other TikTokers. We say pussy, and we say piss.
Yeah, there was a guy who was from my hometown who became, like, a TikTok star.
Uh-huh.
And he dated one of my friend's sisters, and then whenever they broke up, she got, like, a bunch of messages from his, like, crazy TikTok fans.
Really?
Yeah. Which sucked. But,
were they like, fuck you, bitch?
like, oh my, how could you hurt him?
Oh, yeah.
She's just a regular nice girl.
Yeah.
But, anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, anyway, I mean, I don't want to call the guy out or anything. I don't think he did anything wrong. But he, like, became, like, an artist and stuff musically. I don't know what he's up to now. Be bad if I was like, honestly, he's probably a good guy, and it turned out he, like,
molested somebody.
Yeah, probably didn't though.
There was a girl that went to my high school who, like, is big on Instagram. She was also like a B-lister Vine type, And I never saw it, but apparently she would, like, her team would, like, pay. It was people on her team that were paid on the side, like, freelance, to, like, follow her around and, like, film her on the phone and be like, oh, my God, it's so-and-so, to, like, make it seem like she was more famous than she was, and it, like, worked. But all that she ended up doing was, like, doing those Instagram ads for, like, magical energy mushrooms, which, like, hey, dude, sick, but, like, fake paparazzi, and you don't even get any, like, cool movies out of it. You just end up, like, slinging, like, the coffee knockoffs called, like, Mud, and it's, like, M-U with an umlaut, and then, like, D or whatever. Or just some, like, dick pill or, like, pussy pill or something. Like, you don't get any movies. No stand-up, nothing. You just become, like, a conduit for selling more horse shit.
They got pussy pills now?
Yeah, it, like, makes your shit stinkier.
That's good.
Yeah,
I was hoping they'd come up with something like that.
Yeah, it makes your shit stinky. Because honestly, like, look, I'm an old dog, and you're an old dog too. But what's really cool now with the youth is, like, it used to be like wet ass, pussy. That
Yeah,
type
the
of
wetter
stuff.
the better.
But now it's stinkier.
Stinky and dry.
Yeah, stink.
It's good.
It's just like green lines coming off of it, and then it's like 20 grit sandpaper.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Just like real.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you
for
letting
that
me picture
visual.
That. Yeah.
Yeah, the inside of it's just like.
Really hope that instant coffee and Lone Star kick in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, very good. Yeah, it's fine. Is it? Let me check. I told it not to do this. It's a penis. 40 grit sandpaper stinky as fuck, yummy yum. Yeah, no, we're good. I had it made it not do that. I don't know why I did it. Doesn't matter.
It's okay.
Yeah, they got a new pill. It's supposed to make you stink. It makes your shit real nasty.
If I could make a pill for women, I think I would make it probably cause like serious cancer. No, not. But I know that sounds bad, but I mean like.
I want you to explain why it wouldn't be.
No, like it would be like bone or like blood cancer or like breast cancer or like foot, toes cancer.
Okay, and what is it? Is it to give women like a like more trouble?
It's
like,
to help them write more books.
Oh, called
when
like
they beat it, then they are awesome at writing books. Cancer people are so good at writing books. All you have to do is you got to take a picture with your bald ass head next to like a screen door, and it's like you got a bandana on. It's like my story, how I personally beat the fuck out of cancer.
I'm the chemo queen.
Yeah. It's like first off they caught it early.
Yeah.
You know. Oh, you're the queen. I guess my grandma's a dumb bitch
because she died.
Didn't have medical access.
Yeah.
I wish my fucking uncle had thought about surviving instead. Or somebody had told him. Wish he'd read your stupid fucking book.
Yeah, I like the edgy like alpha male guys that are like, if you're a man with depression, nobody cares about your fucking problems, and if you kill yourself, that's pussy shit, and you're a bitch because you let your fucking feelings defeat you. And I'm like, dude, men like kill themselves all the time. It's a serious problem.
They do it a lot.
It's like I feel like that mindset like reinforces and exacerbates the problem at hand, which is like you grow up and like most people's dads, you know, like are like some type of war veteran, and that like old school. Like, men swallow their shit, and they just fucking deal with it, and they never say anything about it, and they keep it to themselves because nobody cares, is why everybody's fucked up. You know? Like, not just guys, but, like, dads and brothers and ladies and men, whatever. So to repackage that is like a way to sell supplements just feels so profoundly more evil than just being like, yeah, toughen up, buttercup, or whatever the fuck. Because always at the end, it's like, if you want to learn not how to be a fucking homo and a pussy whiny baby, subscribe to my fucking University of Ballers Discord. $80 a month where we teach you how to do copywriting and fucking day trading. Also, by the way, never cry because the women will use it against you. I've been seeing some of that shit where, like, never tell your wife or your girlfriend your problems. Always be like a rock. You know, like, never, because they'll use it against you. And I'm like, what type of women are you guys meeting? I've never really, like, told a girl like why I'm depressed, and then she's like, "You're gay for telling me that."
Well, that's what you need.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, I think it's important. You know, men have forgotten how to deceive. You know, it used to be you didn't tell your woman anything. You know, and that's how they liked it. They preferred it whenever you
barely spoke to them.
You came home drunk. In the morning.
For being a day-to-day vacuum salesman.
Yeah, you came home drunk, and they said, hey, where were you? And you said, shut the fuck up before I put a fucking hole in your chest. And they said, okay. Now you come home from gender school or selling smoothies
at
Jamba Juice.
Yeah.
And
door-to-door smoothie salesman.
And they say, how are you? And you say, oh, work was awful. One of the blenders got stuck and all my chia seeds are ruined. And they say, well, did your gender studies go okay? And you say, everybody hated my new gender I came up with, and they said that I was a pussy. And the professor kicked my nuts and they fell off. And then your wife says, fuck you, you stupid bitch. And then she kicks you.
Yeah, and then she goes and has sex with a fucking jacked
and then she fucks an awesome white guy.
Awesome, sexy white bodybuilder that loves Donald Trump and has a huge, thick pipe the size of a fucking big snake. And you are...
She's fucking a Christian plumber.
Yeah, she's... she's fucking a very, like, God-fearing tradesman. A blue-collar God-fearing man, what she's wanted all along. Not your little fucking gay, stinky little dick. She's getting her shit plowed in by a God-fearing, fucking pious electrician.
Because that's what pious men do, is they fuck other guys' wives.
That's what women secretly want, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
wanna
people
get
have
fucked
it-
by a bad boy.
Yeah,
which
they
is
want-
a conservative
Fucking union pipe fitter.
Yeah, a guy who drives a fucking Econoline.
Yeah. It's so, that shit is so awesome because it's like, if there is any truth to the idea that, like, I guess as people, we don't know how to interact with, like, feeling like shit. Men specifically. And that's why so many of us kill ourselves at insane rates. Telling a bunch of young men that's right. It's true. No one cares about you. All your problems, no one gives a fuck. Girls actually don't care. They just want you for your money. You're 16-year-old. All the money that you have when you're 17 years old and beating off all day, that's what they secretly want. But if you kill yourself, you're gay. You have to live in misery.
That's right.
And I'm not saying killing yourself is good, but also sharing your feelings isn't good. Talking about them is gay. So if you kill yourself, you're gay. And if you talk about your feelings, you're gay. And they'll use it against you. The only thing you can do is live in a sort of isolated frustration forever and subscribe to my Discord, where we tell you how to do push-ups and listen to fucking, Christian music all day. Listen to Christian death metal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not big on Christian death metal because I feel like, for me at least, like, just good old white gospel is way better.
Mm-hmm. Washed in the blood of the Lamb. His power, ever-loving power. I turned that off, the screen darkening thing, and I don't know why it's doing it still.
Yeah,
But it's okay. It's still recording.
It out. I don't know.
No, it's still recording. See?
Cool.
Yeah. It's still recording.
That's good.
Sorry, everybody.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little bump and grind.
I don't see nothing wrong with letting Thomas have sex with me.
I don't see nothing wrong with a little pickup line. You could learn on my Discord.
Mm-hmm.
And we could learn how to
Have sex with women.
get Christian wives.
Yeah. I love that a lot of those
I
guys.
don't see nothing wrong with a little Christian wife. I don't see nothing wrong with a little red pill life.
Yeah, there we go. Very nice.
Yeah.
Jaden was telling me the other day that he was watching one of those guys, the Passport Bros, I think is the term or whatever. And he was saying that he went and got a wife from, I think, like, he went to Malaysia and, like, just basically did, like, what's the, like, sex tourism.
Yeah.
And then just meets, like, this really small. He just meets this, like, lady who, like, barely speaks English. And he told her that he had a bunch of money. And he was, like, like a rich, like, I think he said he was, like, a pilot. He's like, baby, you come back to the States, like, I'm a pilot. We could travel, like, wherever you want, baby girl. You never have to work for anything. All you need to do is just cook and clean and look after me, and we'll raise a family together. Fed her the whole 9 yards or whatever, the lines. And they come back to the States, and he takes her to Goodwill and tells her that it's the Givenchy, like the Gucci store. And she was like they had a translator or whatever. It was like, this isn't Gucci. This is like a resale shop. And he was like, no, this is where all the best stuff is. And she was like, I don't understand. He thought that because she didn't speak English, that she didn't know, like, what stores were. Like, she didn't know, like, what the Gucci store looked like. You know what I mean? Like, she didn't know what a Louis Vuitton store, like, the storefront, the facade would look like. He just took her to, like a thrift store and was like, get anything you want, baby girl. All this stuff is very nice. And she was like, I don't know if he told me this was 90 Day Fiance or, like, a YouTube guy, but he was saying that, like, she immediately told him, like, I know what this is. Like, we have these back where I'm from. Do you think that because I don't speak English that I'm literally mentally, like, like disabled? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is sick to, like, go to a different country. The whole passport bro thing is so awesome because they're like, oh, women in America are too bitchy. They're too annoying, and they have loud, sassy mouths. They're defiant. So I'm going to go
Yeah, let's go to the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll find a real gentle woman there.
Let's go to Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Where we find a very nice, calm.
A woman who hasn't been traumatized by wokeness.
Yeah, exactly. Who hasn't been defiled by the values of a declining Western civilization.
Yeah, I went to the Dominican Republic one time, and I didn't. Apparently, prostitution is like kind of legal there.
Yeah, it's like a gray area or something.
And I was just on like one of those like shitty resorts or whatever. But I remember there was like a night in which I didn't know going in that that was like sort of an open secret there. Or whatever.
Yeah.
And there was a woman who I later realized was looking for pay. But I remember like this like 6'1" Dominican woman coming up to me like
Yeah.
doing the whole dance thing, and I was just like so taken aback. It was because I was a white guy who was just standing there really drunk.
Yeah.
But I was just like, and then just sort of walked away. But I remember thinking like, damn, everybody here is really feeling me.
Yeah.
Everybody really likes my vibe. And I like had like a pot belly. I'm like smoking cigarettes and just like fucking dropping them on the ground. I'm like, man, I have a charisma about me that just draws people in.
There's a place when I was in Cancun for my buddy's bachelor party. There's a place in Cancun called the Coco Bongo Club. It's like after the Club and the Mask, where they're like, "Hey, Pachuco, hey," like big band and swing and shit. They also do like reenactments of movies, like fight scenes, and they I'll diverge or go away from the story for a second to say that they did the Batman and Bane fight scene at the end of Dark Knight Rises, but Bane was a midget wrestler, and Batman was like a big, jacked, like Mexican guy. It was one of the coolest things I've ever seen because he was just like throwing Bane like like a fucking ragdoll.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, so the bartender girl's there. It's like $50 and it's all you can drink. And if you pay a little bit extra, you can sit up in like the mezzanine area and watch the show. And like they'll just bring you buckets and buckets of beer. And you pay a little bit extra. It's like, $75 altogether per person. And so we paid for we wanted the fucking cool experience, So we paid the money, and the girls would come by and they would have shots on their belts, and they were dressed pretty provocatively. And they would come behind you and like tweak your nipples, and then like pinch your cheeks and like run their hands through your hair, and then like give you a shot, and then you would pay them for it or whatever. And I didn't know about this. I didn't know this was like a thing. I had heard that like the Coco Bongo Club was like pretty nuts and like was pretty crazy, but I just was like, okay, it's a club in Mexico. Like it's a tourist trap club. It's going to be stupid. They're appealing to like American guys that like want the experience de Latina, and like I was just there to drink fucking as much beer as $75 could drink, or pay me anyway, or get me. Fuck, I can't speak anyway. So the girls come by and they do it. It was like me and all the roommates, and the girls come by and they're like, I'm not gonna twist your nipple, but yeah. And then like they twist your nipple, and then they like do your hair, and they like tussle your hair, and then they like give you the shot. And I turn around and I was like, hey, could you please not do that? Like, not even trying to be mean. I was like, hey, just please don't touch me. It just makes me feel weird. If you just want to give me like a shot, like I'll pay for it. And she was like, and like looked around, and my buddy Jay the same way. He just like turned around and was like, hey man, this is making me uncomfortable. Can I just have a shot? And the lady was like, oh, okay. And I think like, and then all of us, I was like,
they're like, you're not here to cheat on your wife?
Yes, yeah, dude. No, that was they didn't say that, but I got I got that from their faces. They were like, yeah, I mean, sure, yeah, just 2 shots. And I was like, yeah, if you come by, if you want to bring us as many shots as you are legally allowed in this country to bring me. Just do not twist my nipple. Do not pinch my nose like a baby. And do not kind of like notebook style run your hands through I just don't want any of that. And they were like, awesome. Okay, great. And
That's
dude.
the shit they do at sports clips. Bro, the first time I went there, I was like, okay, sports clips. It's like I went there when I was a kid. I think my dad took me there. I don't think he realized like, I'm like, oh nice. I'm like a kid, and the girl's like rubbing her pussy on my arm.
Yeah. Do they do that there? Like, is that their shtick?
It's like, it's not as, knockouts or whatever it's called. There's like another one that's like it's like Hooters.
Provocative to some degree.
Yeah. This one, it's like, I don't know if it's still around, but it was, it wasn't to that degree. It was more subtle.
Mm-hmm.
and most of them were like kind of normal. But I remember I had one girl doing it one time who was like, I didn't really realize until that haircut what was going on.
Yeah.
I just thought, like, when you get your haircut by a lady, sometimes like her boob hits the back of your head. And
Yeah.
But like, I had an old lady cut my hair growing up, so it wasn't like...
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not going to make a big deal out of that. That's just her body taking up space.
Yeah.
But this time I was like...
It felt sensual.
Yeah, she literally rubbed her pussy on my shoulder. I'm like 14 years old. And I'm like... Even as a kid, I'm like, I'm getting like a number 2 up top, 1 on the side.
Yeah.
This does not take a lot of...
I'm getting the state trooper high and tight.
Yeah, I don't need a whole lot of
touch
close
and
work here.
Yeah.
So I was like, I think I would rather be taken somewhere else.
Yeah. Thank you, Dad. Yeah.
No more Asian pussy for me for the haircut situation.
When I was
it's all right.
A kid, my dad took me to this place in Pasadena called Haircuss Number 5. And Thomas, my brother, quit that, dude. It didn't work, and it hurt, didn't it?
Didn't hurt.
Oh, okay.
I was very gently trying to pry it off. I wasn't like clamping down.
Oh, okay.
But the problem at first was I was trying to turn it the wrong way.
Oh, you were tightening it.
Yeah, I was tightening it, and then I started getting it, and then I went, my teeth are not that great to begin with. They're just gonna all break. I thought what I was trying to do was like a one swift movement.
Yeah.
I should try that in private, not
on the show,
in front of thousands of people.
Yeah.
But you guys get to see our victories in our...
you get to see us workshop stuff, like opening a beer with our teeth.
Yeah, we'll work on that one. For now, I just have a move where I suck a beer's penis. so that might be useful later on.
My dad took me and my brother for like the first 12, 13 years of our lives to this place called Haircuss, Haircus Number 5 in Pasadena that was owned by just like the term fresh off the boat, as my dad would say, like Vietnamese and like Southeast Asian women. And and yeah, we shouldn't. And we would go there, and dude, my dad insisted on going here because all the haircuts were $5. It didn't matter if you had long hair or short hair, or my dad got the high and tight from his days in the Army and kept that basically forever. And they'd charge you $5, and then you tip them $5, and like they would like shampoo and do the whole thing. But dude, these ladies, I don't even know if they had their licenses. They could not cut hair to save their fucking lives. They would have my dad looking like Andrew Schultz, like like they wouldn't fade his shit. They would like take it down to like a 1 down here, and then just leave it. And then they would like thin the top of his shit out, and then they would spin him around the chair, and he'd be like, "God damn, looking good." And he would like spin around to me, and then he would be like, "Now y'all got to do my son." And dude, I used to cry. Dude, Thomas, I would cry so fucking hard. I'd tell my mom, "Mom, I don't want to go to Haircuts Number 5 because they made me look ugly." And my mom would be like, "David, stop I'm going to take my son where I go to get my hair cut because it's my weekend with him, and it's $5. You take him to the Walmart lady, they charge $10 haircut, dude." My mom took me to the Walmart Supercuts, which this is not a bougie haircut.
Right, it's also a shitty haircut.
Yes, they fucked me up too, but not nearly as bad. And so my dad would be like, "Oh, you taking them fancy ladies? They blow dry your shit. These ladies, they get you looking right, and they send you out the door. It's $5. I ain't paying $10 for no fucking haircut, dude." So I would like dread going to see my dad because when I was like before I was 10, I just got the same haircut that he got by the same ladies, and so I would go into like I remember going into 3rd or 4th grade after like the weekend, like I'd get my haircut on Sunday with my dad, and he'd drop me back off at my mom's. Dude, I would go. I was the fucking talk of the town. I would like walk in and dude, I have like patches of just red irritated skin because they would just like dig into your shit with the clippers and then they wouldn't blend your fade. So I just like basically like bald guy fade right here with a little bit of the hair and then just like a 2.
Hell yeah.
And then the top they would like thin it out and then spike it. Like you would just like you looked like my dad looked like an insane person. and fucking like at one point I remember like while they were doing it like I started crying. because like she was like getting my neckline, which by the way, I'm 8. I don't have a neckline yet. You know what I mean? Like I don't have, and she's just carving into my shit, and she's like, "You look handsome, just like Papa, right, Papa?" And with like my dad, she'd like turn to my dad, and I'm in the chair, and I'm like, I don't want to get a haircut anymore. And like the ladies thought I was so cute when I'd start crying. They're like, "Oh, he nervous. He nervous. Don't like haircuts." And dude, I turned like 11, and I was like, I wanted to start growing my hair out, so I started growing it out. And my dad used to have long hair, and he's like, "Oh, you know, I went through your long hair phase, man. I remember I used to have a ponytail down the middle of my back." You know, the haircuts ladies ain't gonna be too happy because they like seeing every 2 weeks. You know, me and you come in there, they always love seeing us. They're gonna miss you. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And we went in there. I didn't get my haircut for like a year. Like I grew it out pretty long. I was in 5th grade, and I go in there with them one time, and the lady is like, my dad, dude. So my dad walks in. He's, you know, his shit's grown out a little bit. The haircut would be so bad, dude, that when his hair grew out, it looked like what they were trying to do. Like the bald fade would grow out to like a 1. This would kind of blend into like a 2 situation. And then my dad would be like, "Damn, it's time to get shaved up. It's time to get that cut going. I'm starting to look like a damn hippie." He would just have like, basically it would grow into a normal haircut. I walk in there with him, and they're like, "Oh, your hair long. Like, you come to get cut." And I was like, no. Like, I had like PTSD. I was like, "Get away." My dad was like, "Oh, hop in the chair. Let him give you a trim." And I was like, "No, I don't want." And like, my dad was like, not kidding. He was like, "You need to trim that up. It's getting a little too long." Dude. So I was like, whatever. Like I didn't know how to say no to my dad because he's my dad. And I didn't want to make the ladies feel bad. So I sucked it up, and I sat in the chair, and I was like, "Okay, just a trim, but like don't take a lot off, okay?" They started to give me a bowl cut. Like they were cutting evenly around the whole side, and I was like, "Please!" Like my dad was like, "Oh, you get the bangs. They're still long." They gave me like almost like a mullet, but the back wasn't long enough for it to be one. So my bangs went up to here, and they were straight across. And then the back end of it was like short like this. And then in order to like they were like, "Oh, we're gonna put gel in, make you look good." And then like they like slicked it back, but it wasn't long enough to slick back, but it was too long to spike. So I just had spiky hair like this, and then nothing on like this back here, and it was still long and starting to like curl. So imagine straight bangs, spiky top, curled back like a mullet.
Jesus Christ. You fucked your shit up.
My dad was like, they again spin the chair around. "How you like it?" I was like, "When I go back home to my mom, I fucking hate hanging out with my dad, you know." And yeah, I come home to my mom, and she was like, "David, what are those women doing to him?" I was like, I dude, and like, as when I turned like 12 or 13, and I was like, dude, I'm not going back to those fucking ladies. Like, it'll never happen again. And it was one of the most proudest, like, defiant moments of my life. Where I was like, I'm not returning to the haircuts number 5. Fuck you. Haircuts number 5. We went, before he passed, when I was helping him clean out his mom's place after she died, I was driving him around because he still had a sober lock device in his car. And he was like, "Will you swing me by I need to get my shit trimmed up. You swing me by haircuts?" Dude, this place has been open damn near 30 years. I was like, "Is that motherfucker still open?" He's like, "Yeah, same ladies." We walk in. Dude, I'm 25. This was like right before we started doing the show. This is fairly recently. And I walk in, and they immediately recognize me. And I had like I was starting to grow my hair out. No, this was before I shaved it. So I had like the thing where it was like short on the sides, and I just had like a long like top or whatever. And they were like, "Oh, you come in and get trimmed." And I was like, "Fuck no. I'm 25. I'm a grown-ass man. We ain't doing none of this shit." Like, get the fuck away from me. Like, he's like, "Oh, come on, sit down, man. Old time's sake." And I remember we came back. He's like, "Now, here's the thing. It ain't like it used to be. It's $10 now." I was like, "Dude, get me out of here. Fuck this place." Or whatever. But he was like, he was like, look, man, it ain't like it used to be. They charge an arm and a leg. It's $11 after tax. For them to just like literally like like just torture you, dude. It sucks so fucking bad.
Yeah. I got my hair cut by a lady named Miss Cindy for like 13 years or whatever. I remember they made a reboot of the A-Team, in probably like 2012 or something like that.
Okay.
You remember that? It was like a decent blockbuster hit.
Which one?
The A-Team.
Yes. Yeah.
That reboot they did.
Mm-hmm.
And that summer, Mohawks were really big because of Mr. T's character. I don't know what his actual name is, but
Mr. T.
No, I mean Mr. T's the actor.
I thought his name in A-Team was Mr. T. Is it not?
It could be. I don't know.
No, it's You're right. It's not, but I don't remember his name. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, that character. So everybody was getting mohawks that summer. I remember my older brother really wanted a mohawk that was dyed red.
Like a Chuck Liddell red dyed mohawk?
I guess. He didn't end up getting it. But I remember Miss Cindy took a stand. She said, I will not do a single mohawk in the salon.
Very nice.
Yeah. And I kept getting my stuff done. I remember I went my revolutionary thing. First, I went from a 2 on the top, 1 on the sides to a 3 on the top, 2 on the sides.
Ooh.
And then I got a flat top in 8th grade.
Dude, nice.
But I did not. My parents still only let me get a haircut every couple months.
Yeah.
When you get a flat top every couple months,
Yeah.
that's just a fucking horrible look. For about 7 weeks.
You look like a friar.
Dude, you got to get a flat top trimmed like
every 2 weeks.
Every week. Dude.
Yeah.
And I say that my parents didn't let me. I didn't think to ask to get a haircut, so I just had horrible hair.
Yeah.
And then
When I was in 8th grade, I was like, I had just gotten into I had gotten really, really into like the UK punk thing. Like I was listening to a lot of Sex Pistols, and I had just watched like SLC Punk, and like was like playing a lot of Tony Hawk, and I had long hair like I do now, and I wanted like a full-fledged like mohawk, like a fucking oi 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 like fucking mohawk.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to like tell my dad was like, fuck it, dude, yeah, I don't fucking care. I didn't know how to tell my mom, and so I go. My dad takes me to like an actual salon. I think he had a friend, I forget her name, that cut hair in Houston, and he took me, and she did it. And I come home with it, but it's down, you know? Mm-hmm. Surprisingly, my mom was like, it looks cool. You look like one of them people on the movies you watch. Them like them crazy guys with the studded little punk boys you watch. That made it sound so gay.
Yeah.
Because I'm in 8th grade. I'm like, dude, when I get this, I'm going to learn how to fight and fuck. You know, when you get a new...
I'm going to be Tyler Durden.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, literally. Like when you're 5 years old, you get a new pair of shoes. You're like, dude, I'm gonna get so much.
I'm gonna
pussy.
run so fucking fast.
Yeah, and all the girls in kindergarten are gonna want to be my girlfriend. When you're in 8th grade and you get like a cool haircut, it's basically the same thing. But you're like, dude, I'm gonna get blowjobs from this, like for sure.
Dude,
you know?
I remember, dude, that feeling where you're like, you do something in 8th grade, whether it's like getting a new jacket or whatever.
Yeah.
And you like shave your pubes that night.
Yes, dude.
Like down to the very base skin.
Yes. Yeah.
To where you just have...
You look like you're 8 years old again.
You look like you're 8 years old.
But it's razor burn.
Yeah, dude. I remember getting like... I would like get like a new windbreaker. And then I would shave my pubes like I didn't have any chance.
Like you're about to do trick fucking.
Dude, all the girls in my grade hated me because I was an asshole.
Yeah.
I was mean to them.
Yeah.
Like they were going to see my new windbreaker and be like, I guess I have to suck off Thomas after school. I'm so attracted.
I guess I got to let him bust in me.
Oh, he's 5 feet tall, 100 pounds. He's so hot.
He's got a new windbreaker.
He's got a new girl's windbreaker. He accidentally grabbed it from the girls section. But
yeah, the fucking... it's so funny you mentioned the fucking shaved pubes thing.
Dude, like I remember, like first few dates I ever went on, like very innocent.
Yeah.
Like meeting at like a coffee shop.
Yeah.
And like, you know, just hanging out for like an hour, and then you like drop her off, and like nothing happens, and then just driving home with like a hard dick and shaved pubes. Never made a move, never expected anything, just shaved my... I would have waxed my own asshole.
Yeah, if you had the fucking means, yeah.
And for no reason. Dude, imagine if you're fucking 30 years old and you go on a date and then she comes home with you and you're completely shaved bald. like that day, like razor bumps, that's a fucking red flag.
Yes. Yeah. Like your shit's raw, like fucking.
Yeah, like you shaved in the bathroom on the day.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, it has to be fresh. I gotta shave like 30 minutes before I leave to pick her up.
Yeah.
To go to Sonic.
Yeah. Just sit in the parking lot of Starbucks.
Like you had a slightly different upbringing, but I genuinely was not getting pussy at any time during this.
Yeah,
so I'd be like,
yeah.
all right, I'm gonna go to the movie with a girl. After that, I'll see if she's down to eat. But if not, it's cool. And then I'll definitely drop her back at her parents' house. I would do that, and then just be driving home, and I'd be like, "You hanging in there, okay?"
Yeah.
Get home, gotta fucking put cream on my shit because I got I got a fupa rash.
Yeah. Dude, even though I was like, I guess like, I don't know, like fucking started fucking a little too early, like I still did all that shit. And like I still, because I started watching fucking porn like a young age or whatever. And
like 2 or 3. Probably.
yeah, 2 or 3. Yeah, I was watching hardcore gangbangs when I was like in pre-K. No, like I guess like 8 or 9. Like
that is pretty early.
Yeah. But like, so like by the time I was like fucking around, I had it in my head that like if you had pubes, like you were not gonna get laid, and like I'd had sexual encounters, so I was like, oh no, if I want to have more of these, I need to shave my shit completely bald, and so I would do exactly what you said. I was like 8th or 9th grade, like I would fucking sit in my bathroom upstairs using like an old disposable razor that like I found under the sink. Because I'm not going to ask my mom. I couldn't grow facial hair. I still can't. And I sure as shit couldn't in 8th grade. So what do I need razors for? So I would use like an old one I would find like under the sink that like clearly would give my dick and nuts rust. Never did. But I would shave my shit bald and it like cuts, just red, nasty.
Yeah.
And go to like the beach. Like we would go like take my buddy or like have my mom drop me off at the beach, and then I'd meet my girlfriend there or whatever, and we would like whatever. And in my head be like, oh, she loves the fact that my shit is pink and like red and like scabbed over.
Dude,
like,
what's really funny is so like I got my family's very like does not talk about this type of stuff. So I got most of my sex advice from the media I consumed, which happened to mostly be black comedians.
Okay.
And I remember the first time that I was like pretty confident that I was actually going to have sex.
Yes.
Because it was actually like something that was brought up,
Discussed.
Yeah. I had recently watched a clip of Cat Williams in which he said it was really important to jack off right before.
Yeah.
So that you could last a really long time.
Uh-huh.
Not only did I try that once, I tried that every single date I went on for like at least 3 years and just thought I had erectile dysfunction because I would jerk off and then like 2 hours later try to have sex.
And you just couldn't.
And then I just couldn't, and I would just go, it's because I'm fucking 19 and my penis broke.
Yeah.
And then I just stopped. You just stop beating off like once or twice a day, and you're like, oh, it turns out
I'm just jacking off too much.
It turns out that people that first off, it turns out Cat Williams is a crackhead.
Yeah,
so
and a
that
sexual pervert.
When you're doing cocaine, you can probably do more
rounds.
Right,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true. Honestly, for me,
I've had coke dick like it just broke.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've only done cocaine. Well, about 20 times, but
yeah.
But I can't say that I was particularly sexually confident this time.
Dude,
alcohol was also involved in all of those. But also, I mean, just the cocaine, I would say. If the chance came up, I would have, I probably would have been enthusiastic about it.
Yeah.
And I would have done the worst job imaginable.
Yeah.
And then I would have explained myself for far too long.
Yeah, I've literally done that.
No, I not to be rude, I figured because you have more experience than me.
Yeah.
Because I think, what would I do? That's what I would do.
I've literally done it. I remember when I first moved to Austin, I was 18 years old, and I was like starting to do stand up, and I started doing coke and drinking pretty heavily by the time I was like I don't know, 19, and one of my like oldest, I guess, bits, one of my first bits is like, when you're 19 years old, you don't have a lot of life experience, but I had already kind of like done a lot of stupid shit, and so I had this thing where I was like, it's like one of God's greatest tricks on men. Like I was trying to do like Bernie Mac, Cat Williams stuff, but as like a 19-year-old white guy, and I was like, alcohol and cocaine make women horny and want to fuck, but they make my dick soft as hell. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you know God fucking hates men and loves women. And the thing about that, that was not how the joke went, but it was essentially the premise of it or whatever. That joke would like do really well. But like, I remember one time, like after a mic or something, one of the guys that like, one of the older comics, he was like this black dude, like in his late 40s, was like, I love the joke about the like doing coke and drinking, and it makes your girl crazy, makes your girl want it, and then your shit don't work, and you gotta explain to her like, usually like my shit, because that shit happened to me all the time. And I was like, this is a joke for like a 53-year-old black man, because I would sometimes tell that joke at like coffee shops or something, like not like bars or like comedy clubs, and it wouldn't do that well.
Right.
And I remember thinking like, oh, this is a joke for like divorced dads. This isn't a joke for like
When you try to fuck a girl who's like 19 but looks like your wife?
Yeah.
I mean, I always want my dick to work, but it's like, it doesn't.
I do remember thinking like, to the jacking off beforehand thing, I used to do the same shit. I would be like, oh, I don't want to bust too quickly because I'm not a buster. I'm a fucking marathon. I was not, and never in my heyday. Whatever.
I mean, we weren't about to have a fuck off or anything.
Yeah.
You can lie on this podcast.
No, I know.
I will never challenge your sexual ability, because for me to test how long you last this stuff, you have to fuck me,
or I have to fuck in front of you. Hey, Thomas.
Yeah, I don't want either of those to happen.
Yeah, and like I remember thinking like, I would be like, okay, I'm gonna like jack off. And then when I go over to my girlfriend's place or like whatever, like I'm gonna fuck like a stud. I would just maybe last like maybe 2 minutes longer than I normally would. You know what I mean? Like it's not in my mind. I was like, dude, I'm gonna fuck this girl for 2 hours. Which, like, by the way, you know this. Like, once you've had sex more than like 20 times, you know that the way that you viewed sex when you were in 7th or 8th grade is impossible. Like nobody with the kids.
When you fuck a girl for an hour, she gets really mad.
yeah. Like I've been drunk and like not been able to like fucking like come before. It's like, dude, you wrap this shit up. Like, get it over with.
Oh man, I can't wait to hurt this guy. It's so funny whenever like you're first, like exploring that world and
pussy.
Yeah.
And
the first time that like a woman like is like, this kind of like hurts. Can we like do something else? And you're like, that's all me, baby.
Yeah, and you're just doing a bad job.
Yeah, she's just not that into it.
You're just doing a terrible job.
She's just doing you a favor.
Yeah. She's
she
being.
would rather be looking at her phone.
Yeah, watching TV. Yeah.
Oh, you mind about like having an asthma attack on your bed?
Yeah. Dude, it's crazy that like the delusions that you'll like tell yourself, like just being like,
you're like, you like this, and she's like, I like you.
Yeah.
I think we have some great times together. I think that I haven't given up on you.
Yeah,
if that's what you mean.
I still think that maybe given some time, you might one day be somebody that I could.
I like it when you apply for jobs. I don't think this is going to cut it.
I like it when you put more than $5 in your gas tank at a time. Man, it's. I think we've already fucking like been down this road, but like when you're before you start having sex, and especially like I guess for me, like having like fucking like just I watch porn before I can even jack off. I would just sit there and just like I was like, oh, it's normal for like sex to last like an hour. You know what I mean? Like it's normal for the fucking part to have like different scenes. Like different like you know what I mean? Like different settings and like different
Yeah, you should be able to start somewhere and end on the other
side of the house. Yeah. And also a laundromat or like a school. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the whole time you're just delivering crazy orgasms.
Crazy pipes.
And then you don't bust until the very end, and it's a badass scene. And what girls really like is when you shoot your putrid battery acid cum on their fucking beautiful faces. When you fucking the woman that you have been admiring for maybe months,
You've taken her out several times.
You love her.
You've met her parents.
Yeah, you love this woman. You're gonna fucking on the face of on somebody's daughter's face.
Mm-hmm.
She wants you to accidentally come in her eye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is one thing where you try that once and you realize how fucking disrespectful that is. Yeah. You do that literally one time in your life, and then you're like, oh, yeah, that's that was.
Well, it's like
I'm not bashing that if anybody likes it or whatever, but I just felt like
it makes me feel evil.
I felt like for me, I thought I'm not a guy who should be doing that. I didn't do good enough job to be.
Yeah, to be trying to do the thing you do when you.
Now you're my slave.
Yeah, like the really cocky walk that a guy does when he does a home run. The guy where you do that jog where you're like,
yeah,
you're doing that in the bedroom, like yeah, yeah. No, it's cool. Like I'm a dinger. I swing dingers.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that I don't know why. It's funny that you had the same experience because I don't know why I thought it necessary in like 9th grade to like shave my shit bald. Because again, to your point, very funny. If I shaved my shit bald just to have around the house.
If I shaved my shit bald now, my girlfriend would think that I was cheating on her with a man. I'm dead serious. If she saw me in the shower and I was fucking dead bald, she would say, "What are you fucking doing while I'm at work?"
Yeah. Who do you have at the house?
Yeah. She would say, "Why are you fucking clean bald?"
Yeah. You're getting under your nuts and shit, too.
Why is your taint bald?
Yeah, I was about to say
that's really why I can't be bisexual. It's not even the penis situation. I don't want to pass the balls. I cannot be in control of what's going on.
Yeah. You kind of walked into
I have to fucking I have enough in my life I have to worry about. You know what I mean?
When I thought I was really worried for a while that I had some sort of like colon or like butt cancer or something when I was younger.
We all were.
And and one of the things, as it turns out, I didn't. I was just like an alcoholic, and I only ate fucking like fried cheese. And the gastro doctor was like, "Yeah, something that you can do if you're worried about like hemorrhoids or whatever, and if you think they might be polyps, is that like." Obviously you want to have a doctor, but like if you ever see like or feel anything in your butthole, like pain, you can like get it at like a mirror and you can like see, if it's like because if they're little, hemorrhoids are like they look like this and polyps, and they showed me like a diagram, whatever. And I remember thinking to myself like, dude, if you told me right now I have butthole cancer, I'm never going to spread my asshole and look at it in the mirror. It's not going to happen. I'll never do that. You could tell me that I have like stage 2 butt cancer. When I go home, I would not look at my asshole.
I did that as a prank one time.
Looked at your own asshole?
No.
Did you prank yourself?
No, I pranked a dude. It's a dude prank. You can do that.
What's the prank?
It's where you prank another dude.
You showed him your butthole?
No, dude, I pranked him.
Pranked him really hard.
Dude, I've been getting pranked all week.
Yeah. I pranked on him. Yeah. No, I was like, I remember thinking like, I'm not going to look at my ass.
No, I've looked at it before, and I thought, okay, that could be a lot worse.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know what I was expecting.
Yeah, right.
It wasn't like gross. It was just like, yeah, I mean, that would be my asshole, I guess.
Right, yeah.
There's not any real surprises, I feel like.
If
But
you know what this looks like,
Yeah.
then that is pretty close to like, you know what's going to happen, you know?
Yeah.
I remember, fuck, what was I going to say? Oh, I remember like thinking like you have it in your head when you're like, I guess a teenager that like, you watch porn and you get like the thing where you're like, oh, my penis is like this big or whatever. And for like the longest time when I was like 13 or 14, I was like, oh, when do I get my like, you know how like kids, you get your adult teeth and you get like, you start to grow a little bit of this. I was like, when does my adult penis come in?
Yeah.
Like I was like in 8th grade, like watching porn, like beating off or whatever. And I would be like, damn, I got my wisdom teeth, or like, you know, I got all my adult teeth. And like I got a little peach fuzz coming in. I wonder when my fucking like my dad dick hits, you know, like
Dude,
my adult penis.
Yeah. For me in college, I was super worried because the way my body distributes fat, I got an insane fupa.
Did you really? That's awesome.
I lost 2 inches of penis.
So
Dead
sick.
serious.
So sick.
Gone to the wind.
Yeah.
And then when I started losing weight, that came back, and I went, we're back.
Yeah.
But for a while, I was like, dude, I think I'm dead. I think I'm a fucking dead guy. But it turned out when you take Adderall and Xanax every day, and then you're drunk in your car all the time, I think at that point your penis is sort of like a whale that just died.
Yeah.
Where it's not like all the way soft yet, but the great whites are gonna tear in pretty easy. You know what I mean? It's not going.
Yeah.
It can go places, but not well. You know what I mean? It's like if you're trying to drive through a car wash that keeps moving side to side, but you have to put your car in neutral. So it's like, all right, well, how does it?
Yeah.
Once it's on the tracks, it might go, it might not. If the slot's moving.
Yeah.
Beyond your control.
I remember like when I was really like just taking a lot of pills and like I was like off and on again, like seeing this girl like we met in college, and I would just like ghost her, like like
you
not
met at the Austin School for the Blind.
Yeah. I drove the bus for them to go on their field trip.
Yeah.
And I remember like we would like go out or whatever, and then I just like wouldn't talk to her for like 3 or 4 weeks, and then and I didn't even do it. I wasn't doing it like to be cool or to be like. I was just on. When you're on opiates, like high octane opiates, you don't care about having sex. It's kind of like,
why would you? It feels better.
Yes, it does, and you get to just be alone. Like no one. You don't have to like.
That's why Courtney Love killed Kurt Cobain, because he found something way better than her pussy.
Her heart-shaped box.
Let's go.
Hey, yeah.
It smelled too much like Teen Spirit in there.
Yeah. So I like some years later, like I guess like after we graduated, we like all met up at a bar, and that girl was there, and she was like, "Oh, like I had such a huge crush on you, but like you were like always playing like hard to get," and I was like. And she, like, like, I had a girlfriend, but, like, she was just talking about, like, oh, like, why didn't we ever go out? Like, it was never official. And she was like, oh, like, you just, like, you were always so, like, like, you were too cool. Like, and use that term, but not, like, calling me cool, saying, like, I was playing, like, I was being a cool guy. Like, oh, yeah, I'll text you later. And I remember thinking, or I said, I was like, oh, I wasn't doing that at all. I was, like, addicted to Vicodin. Like, I was like, oh, I wasn't playing, like, hard to get. I just was like, do I want to go get froyo? And like talk about like cats and stuff and like school, or do I want to watch Louie in like season 3 of The Simpsons and like snort Vicodin?
You're watching The Simpsons?
I'm watching The Symptoms. I was watching a guy with a cold. I was watching a guy with a tummy ache.
Yeah, that's we did doctors on the last episode.
Yeah,
doctors go home and watch The Symptoms.
People who watch this in 2 months are like, what? You have to watch the other episode for that bit to make sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, just like being like an aloof cool guy, but not really. Just being like addicted to pills.
Oh,
Just,
yeah.
Just being like, damn, oh man, Jake's like so mysterious.
Dude, one time, this is, we're already in pretty deep on this one, but
yeah.
one time I got way too high, and then I think I had a wet dream
Awesome.
at a party.
Wait,
And
what?
then-
Were you awake? Were you fell asleep
I think I fell asleep.
and had like jizzed in your jeans?
I think so.
Very awesome.
And the next day, because of some conversations that happened, for a few months I thought I had a threesome. And then I never brought it up to either of the girls. Because why would you? You're not going to like...
Yeah.
You don't want to be weird about it. And I'm really glad I didn't. Because as time went on, I realized, okay, nobody else has ever brought this up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that happened.
Yeah.
I think I literally got too fucked up.
Yeah.
And then fell asleep on the ground, jizzed in my pants in my sleep, woke up, and that's... Yeah, nobody... I don't think anybody even kissed me the whole party. And I woke up and I was like, all right, +2 on the body count.
Making it 4, baby.
yeah. And then a few months later, I'm like, yeah, so that girl's back with her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And
I
think she would have brought it up by now if I had. Yeah. This other girl is, we're. Oh, I was friends with both of them.
Okay.
So it definitely would have come up.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I didn't. And also, it wasn't something I would have been like super proud of. I was like kind of embarrassed about it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like,
What are you?
why would you have sex with 2 of your friends?
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? But I think what happened was I blacked out,
Uh-huh.
and they were the 2 people in front of me at the time.
Your brain said sex.
And then I woke up and I put it all together and I went, oh my God, that's not what I wanted to do.
I did a rock and roll guy
Oh
thing.
God, I got fucking raped.
Dude.
If a girl woke up under those circumstances, it would be very traumatic, really.
But you were like,
But
hell
me,
yeah.
I don't think girls have dreams about sex, thankfully.
Yeah, girls
I've
don't.
decided to
Girls
block
aren't
that
horny.
idea out of my mind. If my future wife ever has a dream about another man, I'll kill myself.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I'm in the ground.
I'm in the grind. So are they. For easy street.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll match. I'll go band for band with you on that one. My girlfriend in college, like I guess like my first, your first real girlfriend or whatever. She came over to my dorm and we just like were in between classes, so we just like took a nap together in bed. Nothing crazy. And I straight did the same thing. I fucking busted off in my pants. I had like a sex dream or something, and I was like in my underwear because like it's just me and her. Edgar was gone, so I was like, I'm just gonna sleep like in my underwear or whatever. So it was very readily apparent because it was like a pair of like gray briefs. So it's just, and she like wakes me up. She's like, Did you piss yourself? And I was like, Nah. No pee. She was like, Did you like cum in your pants? And I was like, yeah.
Let's go.
She was like, why? And I was like, I don't know. It just happens to adult guys sometimes. They have like, yeah, it's just like, I'm just so filled with like sexual prowess. No, I didn't say it, but I was just like, yeah, I think it happens sometimes. And she was like a wet dream? And I was like, yeah. She was like, isn't that happen to like boys in like 8th or 9th? Like, isn't that like a teen? I was like, yeah, but it happens to like 19-year-olds too sometimes, like 20-year-old guys. And like, I was like so embarrassed. But I was just trying to be like, yeah, like it just means that I'm.
You have them too. You just don't remember them.
Yeah,
because women can't come, unfortunately.
Yeah. It sucks. 'Cause it's crazy that you guys can't like have fucking cool ass orgasms like guys can. But I remember like trying to be like, yeah, no, like play it off.
Nah, it's like cool. Like I do it at parties.
Yeah.
I can do it awake too.
Yeah, I can do it like
I can come when I'm awake sometimes.
I can come right now if you want me to.
Do you think it's hot that I have like a fucking like tablespoon of jizz in my pants?
Isn't it so sexy that I gotta go change my underwear?
Isn't it awesome that the room smells weird and we
Yeah,
didn't even kiss?
There's like cleaning products in here. We didn't even smooch. Yeah,
It's cool you have like a guy who's probably gonna be your boyfriend soon. I'm here too, and I got cum in my pants.
it's cool that like neither of us are gonna really remember much about each other in like a year's time. But I have a bunch of jizz in my fucking Hanes right now, and I gotta go.
Dude, honestly, like I know you were about to tell me like we should stop hanging out, but also I came and some of it's like in my crack.
My pubes are kind of like sticky. I gotta go somewhere. Yeah, it was awesome. Big shout out to jacking off in your sleep, dude. Man, ugh. I was just telling. There was a guy that we went to high school with, who was like, like J-Rock from Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah.
Not just like a wigger, but like a failure of a human being. Not even cool at dealing drugs. Not even good at it. Not cool. Like, you're a white guy that wears tall tees and you sell weed and pills. You automatically are a little cooler. That didn't work for him. He's just a big time loser. And he lived on the same street as me when we were in high school. And before all of his like bad boy stuff he was doing, where he was like rapping and selling his mixtape at Dollar General, we used to skate together. And he was never any good. We would go to his place, and his parents, we like to hang out at his place because his parents were nice, and they had like a little ramp that they had got him from Academy. And anyway, we go skate at his place, and then we go up to his room, and we were playing the old Call of Duty, where it's like, is it Medal of Honor, like World War II or something?
World of War?
Well, yeah, something like that. It was one of the OG. It was like the 360 or whatever. And I noticed that he didn't have any sheets on his bed. But I was like, whatever. Like his mom was probably doing his laundry, but I just didn't think anything of it. But the room had that smell. And I knew what that smell was. I was a teenager. I know what it is, but I didn't say anything.
Jizz.
Kerm. And I didn't want to say anything, but I was like, are you like bending it?
I like bending it.
Anyway, his mom comes upstairs, dude. I don't know why. She didn't know. I guess she didn't know that we were in his room. Thought that he was just up there. And she goes, "Oh, Chris, I got your sheets after your little accident." Ha ha ha. Like making a joke about like him like coming in his sleep, I guess. Like after your little accident, and she walks up and she has his sheets. He looks at us. He looks at her. She looks at us. We look at him. He looks at us. Like it's just one of the. I was like, and dude, when you're like 14 years old and your mom and your friend's mom comes in and is like, "Hey, you know how your room's stinky and you don't have any sheets because you just blew a load while you were asleep last night? Well, I cleaned those for you." Dude, we cooked that kid for years. Like, even when he was like, when he started like doing the fucking like, "Hey, what's good?" thing, we like, whenever we would like, I would buy weed from him. We would hang out and he'd be like, "Yeah, I've been like steady making moves. Like, I'm about to move to the south side of Houston and really get this shit popping off. Like, get my own studio built." I was like, "Oh, is your mom gonna clean your sheets after you come with them too?" He'd be like, "Bro, that was like fucking 4 years ago, bro. I don't fucking like. You better watch it." And I'm like, "Oh, what are you gonna like? You gonna like come on me or something?" Dude, and he probably like could have shot me. He was like not an actual gangster, but like was definitely a miserable and crazy enough white guy that like to prove a point would have probably just stabbed me at least, you know. Yeah. And I was like, "Yeah, that's crazy. Like you're gonna pop off, and like if you do get big, you're still gonna be the guy whose mommy came in and was like, after your little accident, I cleaned your sheets. You went pee-pee jizzy on yourself." Like it was so fucking, dude. Me and my buddy were just sitting there like, "Dude, this is awesome." No matter, you could become a billionaire doctor. Yeah. Because we're friends now.
Jeff Bezos could have done that and it would be over.
It would be on his Wikipedia page. Yeah. Early life. Jizzed and mommy had to clean sheets. You know?
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys for a very interesting episode. I got to go pee-pee too. Bye-bye. Ain't nothing but a heartache. Tuck my penis.